Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to
Mamá Cita,
your weekly mama date
where we discuss all things momming
while Latina. Hi, I'm Wendy. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom by day and flamenco dancer and writer by night. I live in the suburbs. I'm raising 2 bicultural children. I'm from El Salvador, but grew up in Los Angeles in a very traditional Latin household.
And I'm Alex. I'm a single mom of a fabulous 5-year-old girl. I'm an artist, actress, and dancer living in LA. My life is not so traditional.
We've been friends for over 13 years, and trust us, figuring out motherhood is way more fun with your fellow
Mamá Citas.
So I would like to say that I'm totally against screen time regarding my children, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Alex.
I hate to say this, but TV is like a babysitter for me. It really is, because I have no other help. So Sophia watches a lot of TV.
But you know what? We've been going through a pandemic. So I think we're not alone here. I think all the parents are using television and iPads and the phone.
As babysitters, yeah.
Yeah, just so that you can get a moment to breathe and actually get some work done, because a lot of us are doing work from home.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
When do you get any quiet except when the kids are zoning off in front of the television or in front of their iPads or whatever it is?
Yeah, exactly. So honestly, I don't feel so guilty. I mean, I do, because of the amount of time that she spends in front of the TV or the iPad. But I guess what I do is I just try to make sure that what she's watching is like educational, or, you know, not just stupid shit, because there's a lot of stupid shit out there. I'm sorry. Oh my God, this stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of weird stuff on YouTube. Woo.
Not hating on YouTube. I think YouTube's amazing. But yes, there's a lot of weird stuff on YouTube. It's not monitored in the same way. And if you just let your kids run free on YouTube, it's not that they're choosing to watch this weird stuff. It's that it just comes up.
It just comes up. Yeah.
Because it just keeps going.
I know. That's the scary thing. That's why I'm like,
Before the pandemic, we used to go to Barnes & Noble for Story Hour, and there were always these toys that they were featured, and it was Ryan's World toys.
Oh my God.
And yes, I didn't understand what that was until I looked it up, and then I was like,
notes, in my notes for today, I have Ryan's World.
Yeah, so apparently I mean, I'm always late to the game on everything because I don't really follow a lot of popular culture. I just kind of like live in my own little bubble.
I know.
But Ryan's World, for all of us late to the gamers, latecomers to the game. How do you say that? I don't know.
¿Cómo? Late to the gamers.
Late to the gamers. Las que no están enteradas.
Sí, pa' que se enteren, okay?
Pa' que se enteren. Ryan's World. It's a little kid who basically plays with toys, and his parents film it, and they put it on YouTube, and that became a YouTube sensation. So he's making millions and millions of dollars, not just on views, but also toy endorsements, because now toy companies will send him stuff so that he can play with. And kids love it. Like, they love watching him play with stuff.
Oh my God. Hold on. Have I told you this? This is random. Do you know that Sophia thinks that she has a YouTube channel?
No.
Oh my God. It's so funny. Okay. Because, you know, there are so many channels out there of like these kids playing and, you know, unboxing toys and this and that. So she got this idea that she wanted her own YouTube channel. And now every time that I record anything, like just, you know, because I record her all the time because she's funny, right? She'll be like, hey friends, blah, blah, blah. Like if she's talking to an audience, I have so many videos. And then at the end, she's always like and subscribe.
Oh my God.
She really thinks that she has a YouTube channel. And they're just on my phone. They're just videos on my phone. I have like a whole collection.
My parents, you know, they used screen time as my babysitter. I grew up in front of the television. My parents both worked. It was television as much as I wanted, completely unmonitored. But because of that, I feel like I learned a lot about popular culture. I learned English. I mean, I'm talking from an immigrant's perspective here, so let's rewind.
Yeah.
We moved to the United States.
I took you to YouTube world real quick.
Oh, it's okay. No, like we moved to the United States and both my parents had to work. And so for a minute there, the TV was my babysitter, you know. But from TV, I learned how to speak English. I learned all about American popular culture. You know, I learned a lot of like positive lessons, like things about friendship, saying no to drugs, the concepts of stranger danger, fashion, where babies come from. You know, programs on PBS taught me about
Wait.
math and science.
You learned where babies come from a TV show?
I'm sure I did. My
Well,
parents
yeah, I
didn't
mean,
talk to
we
me
know it
about
wasn't from your parents. We've heard about the sex talk.
Yeah. All the PBS shows, which I still love, and my son definitely does watch those. Super educational, things on Sesame Street, you know, they teach you math and science. I mean, there's some really good stuff out there. And the thing is that back in the day when we were growing up, you know, content on television was much more regulated, one. And two, there wasn't that much content. I mean, I don't know about you, but we did not have any money. So we had like 5 channels, you know, channel 2, channel 4, channel 7, channel 5, whatever it was.
Yeah.
11 and 13. and then all the Latin channels, which were like 2.
Yeah.
Univision y
Univision and
Telemundo.
Telemundo. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to that in a minute. You continue your story.
Yeah. So my parents felt fine with me watching whatever I wanted, however long I wanted. And gasp, I had a TV in my bedroom since I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
You
Same.
like this would never happen today. I mean, it does. But you know, all the moms are like, oh,
yeah.
You have a TV in your bedroom?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It is what it is. I mean, I grew up that way too. I grew up with TV all the time.
Okay, this is how I use television now. My son learned Spanish. Just like I learned English watching TV, my son watches everything in Spanish. And you know what? He's bilingual. He didn't even know he was bilingual until he was like 4 years old and started preschool and realized, oh, not everyone speaks Spanish. I mean, I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was speak to him in Spanish and then have him watch something.
Turn on the TV.
Yeah, and turn on the television.
Yeah, you know what? It's true. I mean, I do feel like you said that moms nowadays would be like, oh my goodness, you know, TV, screen time, the iPad, whatever. But I don't hate it at all. I mean, it is what it is. I use it all the time.
Yeah, but like
because I
we've been
need
saying.
to. I need to.
Yes.
I have to work and I have no one else to watch her. So the best thing that I can do is have her watch shows that I like, you know, that I approve of, that are educational. And the truth is, she learns a lot because let me tell you, she comes to me knowing all these facts about like the solar system and animals and like all these things. And I'm like, oh my God, this is wonderful because I didn't teach you that. And like, she knows all these random facts and she actually remembers, like she focuses, she learns things. And I think it's great. Earth to Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that show?
No.
Earth to Luna. Oh my God, it's so cute.
What is it on?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Earth to Luna. It's a Brazilian animated children's show about this girl. She's like 6 and she loves science. Okay, so her name is Luna and her little brother is Jupiter. And they go on, yeah, and they go on all these like imaginary adventures to learn about science. So like if they're learning about like some animal, then they like become the animal and they go and like talk to the other animals and figure out how they live, or they'll like travel to space and they're like talking to the planets and the stars. But it's very educational because Sophia will come back to me and be like, Mom, did you know that, you know, the sun is a star? This and that. Like she'll like start telling me all these things and she's super excited that she learns new things all the time. And I'm like, yes. Thank you. Thank you,
yeah,
Netflix.
I agree.
Thank you, Netflix, for your content because it helps.
If you use it with purpose, I think it could be a very good tool.
There's also Julie's Green Room. It's Julie Andrews.
Oh, I love Julie Andrews.
Yeah, and so it's this show where she runs this like theater. All the kids are puppets. They're, you know, like Muppets. Puppets?
Yeah.
Muppets or puppets? I don't know. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
I think Muppets are the actual Muppets, and these guys are puppets.
Whatever. They're not real children, okay?
Títeres son unos títeres.
Son unos títeres, okay? Pa' que te enteres.
My son loves that word, títeres.
That's a fun word.
My favorite word is pantuflas. I can't even say it without cracking up. I just spit all over the microphone because I always laugh when I say this word. I don't know why. I just like it.
Pantuflas. Yeah.
It's like it's my favorite thing to say. Pantuflas. It's about the little joys in life,
That's
guys.
right. Pantuflas. Pantuflas y títeres. That sounds like a show.
So you're saying it weird. Am I saying it wrong? Pantuflas or is it pantuflas? You say
Pantuflas. Son
pantuflas.
pantuflas.
No, pantuflas? Now I'm confused. I've said it
Pantuflas.
too many times. The word is gone. I have no idea how to
The
say
moment
it.
has passed.
Anyway,
Okay. Continuing
moving on.
with our podcast. Today on Pantuflas y títeres.
So Julie Andrews. She was
Julie
playing with
Andrews
títeres.
is playing with títeres. No, but it's the cutest thing because it's all about the performing arts. And so all these little puppet children, right? They're like getting ready for their play or for, whatever musical they're doing. And she's the one that like leads the whole show and she has like an assistant and whatever. And it's super cute. And they bring in guests. So there's like one episode that Sophia loves and she watches over and over again. It's about ballet. They brought in Tyler Peck, who's a principal dancer at New York City Ballet. And so she like teaches the kids, like the positions, and she tells her that I can't talk. This is a problem when you have a podcast. Okay, so I love how we're saying like, oh, for educational purposes, y no sé qué. Let me tell you, when I was a little kid, I grew up, seriously, since I was like a little kid, like our kid's age, watching telenovelas.
I would sit down with my mom, both of us equally intrigued in what was going to happen in el próximo capítulo. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we were both into this drama that
You
was
were
happening,
committed.
and we needed to know what she was going to do. Is she going to find out what he did?
Yes,
Like,
of course she's going to
oh
find
my
out what he
God.
did.
We needed to know if she was going to find out what he did and whatever. Like, we were both so invested.
Yes.
This was like an emotional investment, okay?
Yes.
For both of us. This was like a bonding time. Not just between me and my mom, but like everybody, right? I mean, everybody.
It totally is a bonding moment because you can talk to anybody about el capítulo de anoche.
El capítulo de anoche.
La traición and the cheating and the backstabbing and the drama. And I was like 5. And I was watching like Dos mujeres.
Oh my God, I love that
Un
one.
camino.
What shows did you watch when you were little?
Carrusel de niños.
Oh, yeah.
Un carrusel de niños.
Okay, yes, that's true.
Un
Carrusel was
carrusel
cute.
de amor, de amor. Do you remember this?
Oh my God. You know what I just remembered? Agujetas de color de rosa.
Yes, I remember that
Do you
one.
remember that? Oh my God, all these things are coming back.
I do.
Okay.
La usurpadora.
Oh my God, I love La Usurpadora.
No, wait.
First of all, I didn't even know what usurpadora was. So that taught me vocabulary. But Alex, you grew up on telenovelas. So I feel like you watching them is not the same as another little kid watching them and thinking that what they're seeing is real. You were on set.
I learned a lot being on set. I mean, this
Yeah.
was my life. Like, it takes like a year to make a telenovela. So this was like a whole year of my life
Yeah.
where I was on set every day. Watching
Learning
this.
a job, getting paid for it.
Every single day watching, even if I wasn't working. But like I said, I wasn't just hanging out. I was very interested in how everything was done. So I was always there watching everybody else work.
Be proud of it.
Yeah, I
This
guess
is part
so.
of your history. You've learned, you've worked,
Yeah.
and a lot of people have not had these experiences and they probably wish they had. It's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know, if you weren't good on the telenovela, they wouldn't have had you back. They would have killed off your character. Even if
Yeah.
you are a kid.
Yeah. True. Now thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, that was so inappropriate for me to watch. When I was
it,
watching
though?
this.
I mean, what was so inappropriate about the telenovela for you, looking back now?
You know, somebody's gonna like poison somebody else. Like, you know, try to like run them over with their car. Like some
Well, how else do you deal with conflict?
that's not what real life is or should be. Maybe that's what I'm trying to live right now. And I'm like, well, where's the drama? Like, let me create the drama so that I can relive my telenovela days. I don't know.
So, how old were you when you first started acting on a telenovela?
on a telenovela, I started at 9 years old, but I was already working way before that. First, I was on Sábado Gigante.
Yes, so this is one of the shows that I grew up watching, Sábado Gigante. Every Saturday night, we would watch it with my parents, and I loved all the kids segments.
Yeah, that's
sure
a
you
classic.
were-
Sábado Gigante is a classic. Like
Yes.
everybody that I talk to that's Latino, obviously they watch Sábado Gigante. That was like
Yes.
what you did on Saturday night.
Totally. With
That
your
was-
parents, you
of
watched
course.
Sábado Gigante, El Chacal, the kids section. I don't remember what it was called.
Conversando con los niños.
That's right. You were on that, right?
I was one of the originals.
Oh my gosh. So I saw you on television before we even knew each other. How old were you when you were on Sábado Gigante, and what did you say? What did you do?
I started when I was 3. I was like recurring, I kept coming back onto Sábado Gigante. And then after that, some of the producers from Univision cast me on a kids show that they were starting. It was called Noti Mini 23.
Mm-hmm.
It was like news for children.
Okay.
And it would
so-
air every morning, actually during the week. It was
Wow.
like before the noticiero or like after the noticiero. I don't know, at some point during like the noticias. And Noti Mini 23, and it was news for kids. And that was actually really, really fun to do. We got to travel a lot. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. And I remember trips to Disney, like trips to the zoo, trips to like a lot of fun kid stuff. And we would share educational stuff and news, kid-related stuff.
My big generalization for this episode is that our mothers didn't worry about screen time in the same way because there were not that many screens around. Also, the content that was created was much more regulated. Right now, anybody can make content and put something out there, and no one's going to tell them not to do it unless it's extremely horrible.
Yeah.
They didn't have to worry about us in the same way that we have to worry about our kids.
So we were watching One Day at a Time.
Oh, I love that show.
love that
Yes.
show. Okay. And Sophia
good.
loves it too, which is really funny. She loves the abuelita in the show. Anyway,
Of course.
of course. So we're watching the show, and a scene comes up where Elena kisses the other girl. Because
Mhm.
remember, she comes out,
Yeah,
whatever. And so she kisses this other girl, and my instinct was like, turn it off. And then I stopped
Because-
myself, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, I am making it a big deal, even though I don't think it's a big deal, but I don't know. It was just like that mother, like old school mother thing. Like I could just like imagine my mom be like, "Ay, Dios mío." And I like went to pause it because Sophia's sitting right there next to me. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to explain this? And then I was like, wait, no. And I just pressed play again and didn't say anything. And I'm like, no, this needs to be normal. Like I can't make it a big deal because it's not. You know what I mean? She has no clue. Like, yeah, okay, she's kissing her girlfriend. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
She didn't think it was a big deal. You know what I mean? It was like nothing to her. She's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever.
Totally. You know what I don't like about a lot of the shows is actually the violence. So I don't care if, everyone's kissing and whatever. It's the violence. I don't want to normalize the violence. So I do skip through violent content if we're watching something I know is not age appropriate for him. I don't want him to think that guns are normal. We have a very strict no guns, no gun playing, not even pretending like with his hands policy in the house. They do the same thing at school. And this is what happens. I feel like people end up normalizing violence and vilifying sex. We haven't come that far. People
Oh my
are
God.
still outraged by nakedness and by, 2 men kissing or 2 women kissing. And I'm like, dude, can we just normalize this? Because we all have bodies.
Yeah.
We all make love to somebody somehow, somewhere.
That's right.
But what is not normal is killing each other, killing animals in a violent way, blowing shit up. Why is that normalized? Even just relationships between characters, there's certain shows I don't like, and I've stopped letting Soren watch because the kids are mean to each other.
Yeah.
And I understand that's the real world, and he's going to have to learn that. He already does. He goes to school. But entertainment, like TV is supposed to be fun. I don't want him to be worried about like, why was that guy mean to the other guy,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, you know what? That reminds me of I Love Lucy. I am such a fan. Okay. I love
Yeah.
Lucille Ball. I am the biggest fan. I have the whole collection of the DVDs, the entire thing. I love Lucy. And so Sophia and I started watching it together because I'm like, there's nothing inappropriate, you know what I mean, in that, especially in that time. But then I started realizing that the dynamic between the husband and wife, I'm like, oh, okay. She has to like ask for permission or ask for money or, you know what I mean? Because he's the husband. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I started explaining, I'm like, baby, what you see there, that's not how real life is. Like, that's just a show. That's really not how things are. Like, women don't have to ask for permission or do things behind the husband's backs or whatever. That whole idea of like the women stay home and they're the housewife and they cook and they clean and they wait for the husband to come home. I'm like, yeah, I don't want her to think that that's how everybody has to live, because that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely like, I had a conversation with her and I explained.
You're probably too young for this, but do you remember computers at your school and how it was like, okay, now it's computer time, and it was like super exciting?
Yeah.
And you were learning math, but it was super exciting
Because it's on a
you're
computer.
Yes, it's on a computer.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a computer in my house until much, much later.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was like my only access to another screen that wasn't television. The kids now, I mean, okay, my daughter's 1 and she'll like find my phone because she's, it's a bright light, right? So she goes for the bright, shiny object and she'll try to play with it. She'll like swipe and do all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, you're 1.
Oh my God.
But I mean,
these kids nowadays are so smart when it comes to technology. Sophia knows how to find like anything. Like, she talks to Google, she knows how to press the little like mic thing, and she will look up whatever. She'll be like, oh, Mom, this is the toy that I want. She'll like bring me something. Like, she looked it up by herself and she'll bring it to me. I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl. I want to know what people watched when they were little. What did you guys watch when you were little? Did you grow up on telenovelas like me? Is this a thing? I think everybody did, right? Latinas? Yes? Mamacitas?
Yes.
I think everybody grew up on telenovelas. Or were you watching like child appropriate content?
Were you a nerd and watching child appropriate content?
Were you that dork that watched like Barney? Because I was watching Marimar. Okay, guys? I don't know about you, but...
So, Mamacitas, what was your relationship with TV as a kid? Do you monitor screen time more than your parents did or less? Were you monitored at all? Do you think the perils of screen time are overrated? How much is too much?
On the next episode of
Mamá Cita! Single mama drama.
This is a podcast about starting conversations, so share your thoughts.
Leave us comments.
Send us pictures of your mama date.
Mamá Cita.
Mama date.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Mamacita Podcast. New episodes out every Friday, so don't forget to subscribe. And if you like what you heard, please give us 5 stars and leave a review. Thank you for listening. Mamá Cita Podcast is created, hosted, and produced by Wendy Castellanos-Wolf and Alexandra Rosso. Edited by Alexandra Rosso. Our sound engineer is Scott Wolf, and our theme song is based on Drume Negrita, a Cuban lullaby, arranged and recorded by Scott Wolf. Also, check out our Mamacita blog by Wendy Castellanos-Wolf. Find that and more at mamacitapodcast.com.
Okay.
Okay, we're done.
Bye.